evening. This is your boy Marcus Stomer from Gentleman Style Podcast, your host of the number one podcast coming to you live in America. And tonight we have an incredible, powerful, amazing, dynamic speaker that I have been able to track down, and we are able to be blessed by her tonight and get on her calendar. She is a dynamic, powerful woman of God who has just been able to impact the lives of so many women. And tonight we have an exclusive insider. We have her tonight. I don't know how long, but we got it, and we have to take advantage of it. And she talks up, and she's a diverse, globally well-known speaker and coach to many women and men in our communities, and she's helping change the landscape of how we love and learn in relationships. And so tonight, just a little bit about my guest, our guest, because it's a community, y'all. Our guest tonight, Miss Regina Poole. She is a native of Cincinnati, Ohio. After graduating from Walnut High School, Regina attended the Tuskegee University, where she double majored in biology and African American literature. So that's something you don't see every day. That is not a common class. I imagine that classroom was very large, right? In 2016, Regina moved to Jacksonville, Florida, and launched Meeting in the Ladies' Room. What's that about? It allowed Regina to use her voice to encourage women to be accountable, strong, resilient, and real in dealing with matters of the heart. In 2017, Regina took MITLR on the road and traveled the country, challenging women to recognize who they are. And tonight we have an exclusive with her. We are going to deep dive with her, and she's going to help us get to a better place in our relationships, in our marriage, and in our lives. So without further ado, I can't hold her back any longer. My special guest, we are going to have and introduce and bring her on right now, Miss Regina Poole.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Marcus. Thank you so much. Every time I hear somebody read that, I go, who they talking about? Who that woman is?
You. Only you.
Thank you.
Only
so
you
much.
could change the landscape. Only you. God has blessed you with a unique and special gift to touch the lives of so many women. And you are a deep diver. You are at the core. I'm talking like matters of the heart. The matters of the heart is sensitive. Why? Tell us, why do you focus on the matters of the heart in regards to when you go to these speaking conferences and you engage with these women?
Because we're such emotionally complex people, and sometimes you need people to help you unpack that bag. Sometimes you need to be able to tell them, bruh, you got some contraband in a few stowaways, or sis, you really carrying illegal luggage. What the limit was 1 bag, why you got 6? And so sometimes we have to help each other do that, and it's not an easy thing all the time, and it is always hard when the truth confronts you. I have people stop talking to me for a couple of weeks, and then they come back, and that's okay, because I understand you gotta digest that, because you're so used to your abnormal. When you get called on it, you're like, what? She don't know me. You know how we do.
Right. and but you don't let us skate over it, right?
No.
You touch on those things. You deep dive into those things, and you touch on them because they're important. Although it might hurt right now, I needed to hear it. So your women empowerment movement, Meeting in the Ladies' Room. Why did you start that group? And why? How does that help our women? How does that help us?
Well, I was teasing with you earlier. I'm old, and so
She's not old.
I grew up with Climax, whoop, whoop, and but the ladies' room is the place where we get ugly. The ladies' room is the place where we put our faces on. The ladies' room is the place where we go to cry, we fix our slip, we help each other get right in the ladies' room. It's a safe place. When you go out or going, and even now when you go out to them, you don't go to the ladies' room alone. You go with somebody, and y'all go exchange a few tidbits. get it together, get on the phone, do whatever you got to do. So the ladies' room is a proverbial place that I've allowed you to come, that I've allowed women. And occasionally I bring men into the platform, but we come in there to get ugly. We come in there to fix our faces. We come in there to bear our souls, to get some things right. It is a safe place where we talk about things, and so when I thought about what I would name it, and I had to put MITLR on it because I didn't want to infringe on anybody's copyright issues or anything. I said, this is the place we go. This is the place we go. We sit on the lounge. We talk about what we're doing. We fix our weave. We put on them eyelashes. We do all of that stuff. Now that's what it is in the natural. It's not so different in the spirit. We do the same thing in the spirit. We got to get we got to put every single solitary day. I got to go out with a game face on. Whether I want to or not, whether you like me or not, I have to come and I have to present a game face. It's showtime. But I have to come. Go ahead.
And this space allows women to lift back the veil and show.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely.
And show themselves.
I am a 10,000% no judge zone. There is nothing you could tell me that's going to make me go, oh. I don't have no pearls, so I ain't clutching nothing. I'm going, you won't get that from me. I'm just, I don't. I'm like, listen. And I think for the Christian woman, it's especially hard because we don't want nobody to know who we was before we became who we be.
That's true. Who we be.
Because we are beings. And so I bring a lot of us Christian women to the realization you might be walking into and believing God that you are this. And let me say this also, my room is not Christian. Let me say that. Let me be very clear.
It's not.
All women are welcome. All women, all shapes, colors, sizes, ethnicities. It's everybody up in there. But when I talk to Christian women, because I have issue with the fact that divorce, and we can deep dive into that a little later too. Divorce is just as high in the church as it is in the world. But that's because there are issues that we have not reckoned with and resolved because we just got saved and didn't go fix the mess we made. You understand what I'm saying?
True.
We got saved and we thought because we got saved, I don't have to be processed to my purpose. And you have to be processed. And the processing hits us all at different times. And I want people to recognize you're going to get processed. Because sometimes processing ain't pretty. And there's no such thing as perfection. So, yeah.
So when you say process and we get saved and we move forward, we never address those past issues. We blanket it off, we shut the door and we say, okay, I don't have to deal with that anymore. I'm walking into a new me, but we never dealt with the past, right?
And
is that
correct? That's exactly what I'm saying, because we like this. What we do. Watch this. Don't judge me tonight, Marcus.
Nope, I ain't got no pearls.
I'm a new good. I'm a new creature indeed. Behold, all things are new. He gave me life and it more abundantly. I don't need to deal with that. But you can't use spiritual tools to address a carnal issue.
Woo! What? Where's the choir? I need the. Oh my gosh!
Do it. You gotta listen.
That's
okay,
somebody's being attacked right now. That's deep, right? And so, why is that? Why you focus on mindset of our women? Is that why you focus on? Because you took this on the road. You traveled the world with this.
Yeah,
right?
I did it on my dime. I didn't, and then when I started, I didn't know what I had. It hit me all of a sudden. It hit me all of a sudden. I didn't know what I had, but I just knew people kept saying, "Could you come here? Can you come here? Could you come here?" I'm like, yeah, okay. And I just was fortunate enough that Poole was like, if you don't get this out your system, you're gonna make me mad. So go on and go, girl. So, and I do address it because we have such a mentality of being victim that it creates several things. Number one, it doesn't make us own our mess. because you got some culpability into it. He cheated on me. He did. He wrong, but you knew it. But you thought, number two, that you were so good and so saved that he wouldn't do it to you. I ain't taking it back. I said what I said. And number three, we harbor unforgiveness by saying things like, well, I'm just not going to, I forgive you, but I'm going to stay over here.
That's not forgiveness.
That's not. And I'm super confrontational. I think a grown woman is real confrontational. We just want to put I make my husband mad. No, I don't want to talk about it later. I want to talk about it right now, because later on, I'm going to be ready to do other stuff. I want to talk about it right now.
Right.
And
you want to get it addressed now.
That's a balance. You know, I got to learn balance. I got to know when to approach him with that stuff. So,
and that's major in when you're talking relationship, because you're talking two people coming together who come from different walks, different backgrounds, different lifestyle habits, and now blending those two together. That's not easy.
Nope.
That's not easy. But you address that in your book.
I do.
You co-authored a book called Soul Source. Tell us about that book.
Soul Source was an amazing compilation of short stories put together by Cheryl Pelote Williamson, who hails from Texas. She is absolutely phenomenal. So if you guys get a chance, go check her out. But Cheryl allowed me to have my voice heard, because I was 6 or 7 years in my marriage, and I was 6 or 7 years into the marriage, 2 children, and I was mad and angry and frustrated. I didn't know who I was. I didn't know why I was feeling the way I was feeling. I didn't understand. Hey, tribe that's coming in. I'm sorry, my people are saying, hey, I'm just saying, hey, ladies.
Absolutely.
and so I kept, watch this. I kept telling God, you better get, because now let me really mess you up. We're in ministry. I ain't talking little ministry. I mean, we were sent out to teach other people how to organize their church and their structure and what leadership looked like. So we in ministry, like 10 toes down in ministry. And I'm like, God, you better get him, because he ain't listening to me. God, and I kept going to God. And then one night I was sitting in the recliner, and I'll never forget this. And I told the ladies who've been with me in the ladies' room since I started, they know this story so well. And God said, well, what about you? Because if I fix him and you don't change, you're not going to recognize that he has. What about you? I said, okay, bet. Okay, let me go. Yeah. Let me go back to that, because I came from a household raised by a single mom who told me what a man, who tried to tell me what a man should be. He came from a household of a single mom who's telling him what a man should be. We come together and figure out both them sisters was wrong. And so now we got to figure it out, because we hitting this together, trying to raise a family and do it the right way and keep everything intact and be moving and progressive. And we done took some blows. We've lost everything more than once, and we still here. And so it's just a journey. And so it allowed me to understand that my father's covering, which wasn't there for me, because a father teaches a little girl that she's precious and a princess. And now your mama gonna teach you how to be fierce, but your daddy, I'm finna mess somebody up with this. Your daddy gonna teach you how to be a lady. Your daddy teaches you how to be a lady. Your daddy does. Your daddy teaches you how to be a lady.
So I need you to unpack that. I can't let that go. I need you to unpack that, because I think we're taught and we're shown differently, right?
We are.
Because mommy is the one that's nurturing and loving.
No, I don't know. Listen, I might bring my kids in here. They might be like, my mom is the one we don't want to tell anything to. But it is. But I'm going to show you how it works for you, or for men who've had amazing moms in their lives. You want a woman that's going to hold it down. Hey, Tasha, you want a woman that's going to hold it down and run her house like your mom. Your daddy came home from work. Your mama had his plate on the table, right? That's just an example.
Right.
I'm not saying you specifically, but that
I'm
told
with
you
you.
how you wanted your wife to be, right? Your daddy didn't
Right.
teach you that. Your daddy taught you how to holler, how to spit game, and how to put that towel, and how to where you put your cologne, and how you look at a woman. He might have taught you that, but your mother taught you the essence of it. And I missed the essence of that. And so I was fortunate that I had an uncle, may he rest in glory, that was there for me. He was afar though, but he was never more than a phone call away. And so I had it, but it wasn't in the home. But it was times he would reach out to me and say, Gina, this, that, and the third, or Gina, this, that, and the third. And I am so blessed that my grandmother is still here living. And I
Amen.
watched my grandmother and my grandfather interact. And my grandmother is, when I tell you she old school, I wish you would eat before you served your husband. Y'all, you getting put out today. She will knock that plate out your, no, and she ain't before 11. She'll knock the plate out your hand from Mississippi and ask you, girl, is you crazy? And so, but I have that old school edge to me. So everything old ain't bad either. So I'm grappling
Not
with,
at all.
I'm grappling with this, my mom who's wickedly brilliant and strong and resilient and fierce and like kicking corporate in the teeth when I'm growing up. She, at a time where Black women just didn't show up in boardrooms and command what they wanted. She was. So here I am learning how to be strong. And I'm my mother's only child. And so, and I'm the only child. So watch this. I'm fiercely competitive. I hate no.
Mm.
And I always want to be the best. I hate making mistakes. I want it done right the first time.
And that came from mom.
Right, right. But it wasn't balanced. It wasn't balanced, Marcus. I didn't know how to concede. I didn't know how to compromise. Yeah, I didn't know how to submit. Yes, y'all, I said the S word, baby. Yes.
Submit. She said it.
Did it.
And that's
I
what I was waiting
did.
for. I was waiting for
Yes.
that. Why is that necessary in a relationship?
It's not just a
Uh,
relationship. So let me
the
preface, because
marriage. The
a marriage, exactly. Because I don't believe in boyfriend, girlfriend. You've heard me say that before.
yes. Yes. That's why I stopped saying it. I had to fix myself. Forgive me, y'all.
Because we spend so much time making husbands for other women because we girlfriends doing wife duties, and what you really are is a training team. That's all I'm saying.
Mm,
Anyway,
mm,
so
She's spilling tea.
uh, submission is so powerful, though. You know, I listen to all kinds of music. My tribe know this. Don't judge me. I got teenagers, so you might hear trap music one day, and then the next day we're gonna take you to the king. It just depends. It depends on what's going on. Uh, and so it's a lyric by Beyonce, and she says, "He may be the head, but I'm what moves him. I'm his neck."
I've heard that.
That's
Yeah,
huge.
that's major.
That's powerful, because that means you don't what. That means you don't have to be seen to be influential. Submission is such an influential thing. Submission is such an influential thing. And as a woman in her right place, there ain't nothing you ain't gonna get.
Mm, mm. Woo! This is Gentleman Style Podcast coming to you live and direct. Please like, share, and subscribe and get this
Yes.
message out. We have to uplift Miss Regina in this time because what she's sharing, what she's talking about needs to get out. And so please like, share, subscribe, and tune in and get her out. We need to uplift this woman as she spills the tea on tonight's show.
I ain't gonna give you all my player cards. I gotta keep a few, but you know.
Ah! Well, we appreciate you for what you do, and whatever you share, that's we're gonna take it and run with it.
Transparent.
You said daddy issues, and
Yes.
you said
He wasn't there to protect me. And so what I wound up doing at, how old was I? Oh God, 43, 42, 43. I wound up writing him a letter. I don't know where he is, but I wound up writing him a letter that I thought was going to be a letter of, you weren't this and you weren't that and that. What that letter turned out being, Marcus, and it was so empowering. It was so, I got a release from it. What it was it turned out being a letter saying, I'm sorry you messed up. I feel sorry for you that you weren't there to see this amazing seed that you put in the earth. I'm sorry that you didn't see all the accomplishments I made in a single mama household. I'm sorry that you didn't think enough of me to come to my graduation. I hate that you missed the most amazing wedding in the world and you forfeited your opportunity to walk me down the aisle and make reconciliations. I hate that you missed your 3 amazing grandchildren, one of which is on the Asperger's spectrum, but he's kicking indoors and on the dean's list and honors roll, and an amazing daughter who wants to be an architect, and my youngest who is teaching herself Japanese. I hate you missing all of that. And I forgive you. And so you have to learn to forgive. Hi, goodness. You have to learn to forgive without an apology. Forgiveness is not predicated on an apology. It's not.
You and that was your release. Is because that shocked me, because you, instead of, like you said, doing this and you didn't do this, you said, listen, I forgive you. I release you. Is what you're saying. I release you from that.
I understand you weren't big enough to handle greatness. I understand. It's okay. It's all right.
Wow. Nikki Lewis tuned in. She said, I wrote a letter to my father also. Wow.
Yes. And I didn't even mail it. When I was done with it, I burned it.
Yeah. Nikki, did you mail it? Tell the audience in the comments, please like, share, and subscribe. Daddy, you touch on something, because that's major especially in the Black community. We don't have a lot of male presence in the Black home anymore, unfortunately. And so this podcast, this show,
but I can get into that later. But that was by design, yes.
It was and I think COVID, and now I've seen a huge insurgence of Black people coming together more than ever, and I think that's important. We have become bigger entrepreneurs. We are really diving deep into supporting our own. Yes. And I out of all the negative that has come out of COVID, that is one of the positives that I like seeing, is that we are now seeking out Black businesses to support. Oh, you make clothing? Okay, I don't shop at Gucci anymore. I'm gonna support my own. I'm gonna buy your clothing line. I'm gonna buy your hair care product. And so, but you were able to uncover so much in your talks with women and men across the globe. What have you seen as the biggest contributor to relationship problems, besides the obvious, which is the lack of communication, the lack of, the daddy not being there, the daddy issues that we all face with, the mommy issues we may face with? What have you seen in your travels?
The inability to own your stuff. We don't own our stuff. We don't own it. We want to be victim. It's much easier being victim, because I get pity parties in. And
you do pity parties?
No, I don't. I said no.
Okay.
No. I don't even. You can't even find my address if you haven't one of them. But
I love it.
But it's the inability. It's that, and it's also this stupid, crazy idea that perfection exists. Let me tell you a definition of perfection, and this is where people miss it. A definition of perfect is to be tried by fire. And we throw away people that we think are going through, not realizing they're being perfected. We throw them away.
We throw them away too early.
We throw them away too early because we are so vain. Just like you, I tell women all the time, the same way you are processed and delivered and unique and are growing, you need to extend to your husband or the men that are trying to date you the same latitude that you got. Because, baby, you was a hot mess when them tracks wasn't looking right, when that nail was chipped, when you was stuffing, when you heard your heels click clack across the floor because your taps came off. Don't act like you came red bottomed, snatched, because you didn't. You didn't. You had a unibrow one time, boo, and your teeth was fighting for seats. So don't act like you got it all together, because you don't. You didn't. And we want people to come to one of the beauties, and I'm not, because Poole and I are not perfect, but one of the beauties and one of the things I will never forsake has been the blessing of watching him grow. I bought him his first suit.
He didn't have one before?
He didn't have, when we got married, he didn't have a suit. Mm-mm. I said, why don't you wear suits? Not that he couldn't do it, he just didn't.
Right.
I just didn't need one. You know, I don't need one, because he wasn't. I always, watch this, I always looked at him as where he's going, not where he is. When you meet somebody that wants to keep you where they meet you, run from them, because they're not willing to let you grow, and they're going to constantly remind you of your struggle. Engage with people who address you as they see you. I saw him as this pastor. I saw him as a father. I saw him as a provider and a protector. And, you know, I saw that. I wasn't, he didn't live in the neighborhood I lived in. So what? I saw something else in him. His mom and them don't talk. Man, I used to catch fire from his family because they say I talk funny.
Not at all.
But well, you gotta know where they from. And so
okay. You win. Touche.
Look, they good hood. And so but I've always admired that. And I knew he needed a good suit, and it needed to be blue. And then I got him a black one, and then I got him a gray one. And then, you know, it was a point in time that Joker's closet, I had to give up the big closet. You know
what? You gave up the big closet
well,
for
let me tell you
his
why. Because I had
for
children.
his growth.
Yeah, I had children back to back, so I was wearing maternity clothes anyway. I was cute, but I wasn't shopping like I would shop now. I'm gonna make sure when he goes out. Yeah.
Wow.
When
That's
he
that
gets up in the
self-sacrifice.
pulpit. When he gets up in the pulpit, you know what I mean? Yeah. So
that's major.
It's I think where we break down and where we lose it is this stupid idea of perfection, and not understanding the process of perfection, and that perfection changes as you grow. It doesn't stay. Perfection's not stagnant.
Never stays the same.
What was easy for me yesterday, what was hard for me yesterday is easy for me today. So it's no longer a requirement for me to perfect that. I got that. That's in the bag. What's next?
I love how you just shared that. And what you also didn't do is you didn't judge him by his past. We do that so many times. And that goes into what you said earlier, where we discard people and we remove people out of our lives prematurely before really getting to see what their true potential is and believing that they have the ability to achieve it. Yes. So you touched on several things, not letting them waste your time when they're not growing and they just want to stay stagnant and they just want to stay comfortable, but also looking forward and seeing the future with them, seeing the blessing of God in their lives, but also not holding them accountable for a lifetime for their past transgressions. Those are so big.
And the truth of the matter is, you know, I don't know about you, but I wouldn't want nobody to open my closet. And so
nope.
So I'm so glad I didn't grow up in social media times. You know, you have to be able to allow people that growth, and growth is growing pains. I mean, it hurts. It's like working a muscle. You know, love is a muscle. You know, some days, listen. In 2020, I told my husband, I didn't sing you too much this year. I just really have. I wake up to you. I go to the office. You're in the office with me. I go to lunch. I'm at lunch because, you know, we're at home. Right. And so, you know, it's a joke, but I said, we really, truly had to like each other to be surviving this right now. And not because there are a lot of people who are silent, who haven't had a good experience. I tell my women in the ladies' room every now and then I'll come on and do a broadcast. I said, listen, if you need help, I just want you to put up, I like pineapples, and I'll make sure somebody reach out to you. Just code, because you just in case he on your thread, be like, oh, I like pineapples too. I got you. I hear you. Let's get you some help.
I love that. It's a safe word. It's a
It's
safe
a
word, just
safe
like
word. Yeah,
the safe space.
it is. It's
And
absolutely a safe space.
so let's. I'm in your coaching session,
Mm-hmm.
1-on-1. We're talking from
Mm-hmm.
the heart.
Mm-hmm.
I found Christ, but my spouse has not. What should I do? How do I begin the hard work on that marriage? How do I begin the relationship? This is part of what she does, y'all. This is so we are. I'm asking this for me. What do I do?
Listen, 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 man of God. The first thing you gonna do is keep minding your business, because you can't save nobody. And
Ooh.
the fact that you found Christ does not negate the covenant that you've created in front of Christ to love, honor, cherish, and obey that person. Nowhere in those scriptures does it say you can throw them away because you found him and they didn't. As a matter of fact, it says the sanctified spouse sanctifies the other. You're going to have to grow with them. You're going to have to grow with them. And what
So
is
that's not
saying,
an excuses to leave.
and I'm gonna tell you something else. You ready? Hold on to your seat, because you ain't somebody can get mad at me for this one, but I'm gonna get you delivered today. Infidelity ain't a reason to leave either.
Oh my gosh. Y'all, please like, share, and subscribe. This is Gentleman Style Podcast. We are speaking the truth tonight. My special guest, the incredible Miss Regina Poole, is laying the ground rules on relationships. Wholesome, fulfilling relationships. Mm-hmm. If you missed that, please scroll back. Please go back. We are on all social media platforms, iHeartRadio, Spotify, iTunes. Please, you're not going to want to miss this. So, infidelity, I can't leave. I can't walk away.
You can, but you don't have to. Watch this.
Okay.
I'm gonna make somebody mad, y'all. Let me give you this. Let me preface this by saying I do not condone it. As a matter of fact, watch this. Watch this before I tell you this story. Somebody asked me one time. They said, Sister Poole, that's because Brother Poole ain't never cheated on you. Why you say that? I said, well, let me tell you something. If he did, he loved me too much to let me know it. What am I saying to you? Hear me.
Okay.
We are all broken, fractured, have no real idea of what love is. And so when I hear people say if they loved you, they wouldn't I'm going to call BS on that. I can't say that because you're a good Christian man. But I'm going to call BS on that, because good people do bad things for the right reasons. When you're broken and hurting, you're responding to to numb a pain. Infidelity ain't much different. Now, let me also say this to those of you who say that he was probably cheating when he got with you, and you just thought you could throw it up in the air and it turn into sunshine, and you ain't know it. So you have to walk it out. Don't throw away a life of stability and love and family. Be mad. I ain't telling you not to be mad. I ain't saying that. But don't throw the grits on the brother yet.
The hot water, the boiling water.
No, it ain't even. You'd rather have boiling water than grits, baby. I don't know if you cook grits, but if you ever been popped by some grits, that ain't a good feeling. But anyway.
I don't want to now. Oh my God. You said it.
So listen, but this is why I say that. And that's a hard pill for so many of us to follow, because we our vows are so strong and we're so true and we're so leaned into them. But I think as women, I'm going to get in so much trouble here tonight, but I love my sister queens.
Say it.
I think as women, we were so after his name and his hand that we failed to see the fractures in his heart. So when those fractures surface, we take a righteous indignation. And the first thing out of every woman's mouth is, how could he do this to me? Baby, because it ain't about you. That's how. And it's hard and it's ugly, but it's not, it can Love is patient, love is kind, it's not prideful, it's not puffed up, it's not boastful, it endures all things. There was one scripture written in the whole 66 books that was to the sinner. And that one scripture that was written to the sinner was repent. After that, everything else is for us church folk that sit in there and apostolize ourselves 24/7, 365, 52.
What you just said is what so many of us, we get excited over the wedding and not the person. We get excited over the ring and not the individual.
You posted a question the other day. You said
yes, and you chimed in. I love it.
I did.
I was trying to get you. I was trying to get you there. I really was trying to.
I usually catch your stuff, but you said, you know, you're in love, and he proposes to you without a ring. Are you still going to? Yeah. Listen, if you like me and you've been in the game so long and had some and carpal tunnel hit, my ring don't even fit no more. I'm like, and he's like, listen, we're gonna have to find somebody we trust to adjust the band, or baby, we're gonna get that band fixed. We got 2 kids in college right now. You know what I'm saying? Conversations change because when you become invested in each other. And so I want another ring. Yeah, you know, I loved my ring. He handpicked that diamond, and a little old man made the band. I love it. But we have to be careful that the I do, watch this. The I do is not the pinnacle. The I do is the groundwork. That's when the stuff gets real. That's when you can't send him home no more. He got to stay there with you, and you're gonna have to soak his drawers and bandage his wounds and deal with him when he can't go to the barber. Let me tell you what this sister did. I learned how to cut hair because you're not about to be around me looking like Wolfman Jack. Listen, I learned how to fade and everything else early in marriage because we're not going to do that.
Yeah. And she looks good, y'all. She looks incredible. So you know she cut her man right, because she is a beautiful Black powerful woman, and she takes care of herself. So you know her man gotta be sharp and on point. But so the question, y'all, I'm gonna go back a little bit. The question that I shared on my timeline was, if your man proposed to you without a ring, would you still accept the ring? And so Miss Regina came in, like always, with her words of wisdom, with her knowledge and her experience from her travels and her constant prayer life, and she dropped nuggets in that entire thread. So, and I did it intentionally, hoping to stoke the fire in her to comment, and so she did. And so that's what we're talking about. That's what she's speaking on right now. Why is there? So thank you for that. That was helpful, because I think so many people, you see it all the time in churches where there's a predominance of women and not enough male presence. And so I think that
oh Lord, yeah, you're right.
She want to speak on it. That's huge, right?
That's because so watch this. Most churches are filled with women, single moms, making money. So they bring it in the tithe, right?
Right. I'm going
to keep you coming to church. So I'm going to start preaching to the things you like instead of the unadulterated gospel. Because if I start telling you the real truth, and the real truth being the reason woman was created was for man, and you absolutely need a man in your life, you're going to get mad at me. So I can't say that to you. So I'm going to keep preaching to the things you like. I'm going to tell you about overcoming and how you fix stuff and faith. And I want to talk to you. I'm going to preach into the ground the woman with the issue of the blood. I'm going to even talk to you about a dead thing that you're going to call forth that's just going to come jumping out of tomb. But I'm not going to talk to you about the beauty of servitude, the beauty of submission, the beauty in the covenant of marriage. I ain't gonna talk to you about that, because then you're gonna keep your tithes and I ain't gonna be able to do what I want to do.
So we are filtering the church because I want to keep you coming. We are filtering because I want to keep your money in the church. And we are not talking about what you talk about is,
and it doesn't even have to be what I talk about. It has to be the whole gospel. You can't pick and choose what you want. You got to talk about Joel just like you got to talk about Mark. You can't pick and choose. You got to give them Habakkuk just like you got to give them Genesis. You can't pick and
There
choose.
it is. There it is. Yes. I got her there, y'all. That's what I wanted. I wanted you to talk on that. We pick and choose the parts of the scripture that are applicable to us right now and not the whole Bible.
It ain't even that it's applicable to us. It's what makes us feel good. Because if we really chose what was applicable to us, we walk around all day talking about, ouch, ouch. I know I would, because oh Jesus Lord, I'm that angel that came, that seraphim that came and had put the coals on my lip, like, Gina, shh, don't say nothing. Shh, don't say nothing, Gina. Be quiet, girl. Be quiet. And so sanctify my speech, God. But
nope, let her loose, God. Let her speak. Do not hold nothing back.
So, it is these crazy ideas that we have. Now, my pen and my brush stroke real wide. So let me say this also, because I'm about to mess with somebody else again. The way we know marriage is a very westernized view of marriage. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm saying it's very westernized. I'm going somewhere with this, so hold on. So grab your seat again, Marcus, because I'm going to tell you something. In the Bible, how many wives did Jacob have?
He had a plethora. He had several.
So in our Western civilization, because I'm a Western woman, but I believe in the Bible, right? Watch this. I'm going to mess with somebody's doctrine on tonight. I'm a Western woman. I'm reading the Bible. And infidelity is wrong, right?
Right.
Marriage isn't, though, right? Marriage isn't wrong, right?
No.
You like she's setting me up for some, and I don't know.
You are.
Well, this is my point. Every man that had more than one wife in the Bible could take care of her.
That's true.
So it is not polygamy is wrong. It is the fact that we don't know how to be polygamous. I don't condone it. Poole can't do it. Let me preface this right now. I'm stingy. Let me preface
I'm about
this.
to say.
Stingy, y'all. I'm stingy.
Husband.
Yeah.
About to kick in the
stingy.
door.
Listen. He be like, girl, nah, you too old, I'm too old, and the kids ain't having it. But my point is, when we begin to go and we dive into these issues about why men cheat and blah, 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 let's think about why he was created. You were created to have dominion, right? God brought before him every creature in the world, and he named it.
True.
You were created to have dominion. And so I think the question of infidelity in our community, I'm talking Christian now, I just wanted any non-Christian listeners to know I get that too. That was the point of me going down that road. I get that too. I'm the no judge zone. It's at the end of the day, all of us gonna have to give account to somebody. But I think when we come into a marriage, I said most people think the I do is the pinnacle, when I do is the basis. The marriage is the walls that make that thing work.
Yes.
It's the marriage. We were in a place at one time years ago where we were in church all the time.
Me too.
I was director of dance ministry, so I was there on Monday nights for dance rehearsal, Tuesdays for Bible study, Wednesday for this meeting, elders or missionary or whatever meeting, Thursday for this, Friday we might have been cleaning, Saturday was this kind of function going on, and then we had 3 services on Sunday.
Yeah.
I'm married. If we in church that much, when that single woman gonna be able to be found? Because he ain't coming in the church. So when is he gonna find her? She's sitting in church all the time.
Break into her house. break into your house,
Listen,
catch you in
my
a.
ladies in the ladies' room that are on here will chime in and even tell you. I tell them all the time, y'all better go wash your own cars. You better go to Home Depot. You better hang out in the automotive section. You better go to Walmart. You listen, because he's not coming to church because the church is not putting out the call for him to come in. Doesn't make him a bad man. And he may even know more scriptures than you do. But the church is not opening itself up for men to come back and take their place in it. Not individually, I'm speaking corporately. There are some amazing bodies of Christ out there.
Right. This is incredible, y'all. And what she's talking on is so true and it's so impactful, and it hits home. It hits, like I said in the beginning, she is going to touch on your core, and you're gonna see it, you're gonna feel it. And it's not, she wouldn't say any of this if it didn't come from a place of love. It's all love.
Absolutely. It's all love.
And if you get offended by this, I'm sorry, but you need to hear it. If this offends you, then good, because that means you're growing. And that's what Ms. Regina Poole is all about. We can talk about communication. We can talk about everything else. But you, specifically in your topics that you discuss with your sessions, you talk about real communication in regards to relationship marriage. What is real communication in the marriage?
Transparent and painful. It's
everything?
Not everything.
Okay.
But not everything. But they're the things that we don't want to talk about. Because we talk about, hey, Danuta, we talk about the easy stuff easy. Baby, what you want for dinner? That's easy, right?
True.
Thank you, Pastor Brandy, for joining us. We talk about who taking the kids to school. That's easy, right?
Right.
My husband and I, and I'm still guilty of this. I'm being very transparent with you. He's still getting me, babe. I tell you all the time, just tell me how much money you taking. Because I'll just do it and go about my business, put whatever needs to be put. And it's not that I'm going to get it for me. It's something for the house. But I just... Right. So, it is something that we need to talk about and give each other the latitude to feel what we feel in love. And hey, Peppers, and be able to have those conversations without, well, why are you talking to me like that? That is not what I said. And we get so defensive, and we listen to respond, but not listen to understand. True. And you have to listen. I'm one of these people that I don't just listen to what you say. I'm listening to what you ain't saying too. Because that's
your actions.
And so my husband and I have a joke. And my joke is, you forever bringing up old stuff. Can we talk about this right here, right now? But it got to, no, it don't. I don't even know how you make the correlation between 3 years ago and the asparagus being tough and the fact that the car need brakes. I don't even know how you did that, but okay. So that's a very facetious example, but that's how odd it is sometimes. Yes, meeting in the ladies' room is in the building. Thank you so much, ladies.
Whoop, whoop. Hey, ladies. Thank you for joining us tonight. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you all for tuning in.
Yes,
to
please
the show
do.
tonight.
Marcus is amazing, and he always asks some incredible questions. But communication is not always comfortable or convenient. You have to have what I call, you got to be ready to have those courageous conversations. You got to have be ready to have those conversations that are going to be catalysts for growth and change. You have to be willing to be exposed to get to the answer.
Ouch.
You got to be willing to do that. And I don't like it either, because Poole be at us, and I'll be like, okay, you done?
That is,
I'll be like, look at y'all daddy. He's tripping. Look at your daddy.
Take them out.
Oh my gosh. He
That's
don't let it go.
that's
That's a pit bull.
but you also don't let it go too. And it's
Man.
so, but you mentioned it earlier. You've learned the art of working together and compromise.
Yes.
We
Yes.
have to be.
Yes.
How did
Not, and it's not always compromise. Sometimes I just gotta flat out concede. I'll be like, okay, this one, this a battle. I'm gonna let you have that one. And I'm gonna be transparent with you. I'm a little methodical too. So if I'm conceding to some in his head after 25 years, he knowing she's stacking up for something else that I ain't gonna be able to
something
come
else?
back from.
There's something behind it. She letting
So
this one go to win the
she
war.
let that go. She let me do that. That so I
I'm
have a
sorry,
saying.
baby. He come back. I'm sorry. You can have it.
No, ain't no take, ain't no do overs. That's it. Listen, I have a saying in my Nichelle just put it up there. In my tribe, when I say something that's good, Latasha, when I say something that I know they finna be mad at me about, I say, listen, before I say this, I want y'all all to say Gina loves me. And they all go, Gina loves me. And then I hit them between the eyes. Just say Gina loves me.
So that's the preface. That's the warning to say, listen, I'm gonna hit you in your at home. I'm gonna be in your house right now.
Right. Don't ask me nothing you don't want the answers to. Especially if you wrong. If you are wrong, then a 7-headed, sloop-footed, tongue-tied tightrope walker. You just wrong. And they know I'm gonna tell them that. And they be like, well, why am I wrong? Listen. Let's take the I out of it. And let's look at it like this. And that's what we talk about.
Amen.
Yeah.
Thank you, ladies, for joining us tonight in the ladies of the meeting in the ladies' room group. We thank you all for tuning in and checking us out and supporting Miss Regina Poole. We must uplift her because what she has is changing the scheme of things. You touch on being engaged to your future, but dating your past.
My God. I do. I say you can't be engaged. You can't be engaged to your future and still dating your past. You can't do it.
So I'm holding on to both ends of this the spectrum, right? Help us with that. Help me understand how that works and what that looks like.
It's a real simple answer, and I don't own that saying. My beloved uncle that I mentioned earlier, I that's something he used to always say. You can't be engaged to your dating your past and you engaged to your future. Basically, what it's saying is your past is behind you. And if you want to grow and change and move and accelerate and excel and change the trajectory of your life, you're going to have to let those things go. They were for an appointed time. That time is over. And so for you to be able to be fully engaged in what you're going into, you can't be distracted by what was. See, as women, I ain't gonna talk about men because I ain't never been one.
Amen.
So I can only talk about women. And a very good example of that is when we start dating someone and we begin to do a checklist and a comparison. Baby, let me tell you about a memory and how a memory will play tricks on you. Because you'll swear up and down that joker was the finest, sharpest thing you ever saw in your life. And why can't this person be like that? And so God is did you know God had a sense of humor? God is so funny. He'll bring that thing back to you that you thought was so amazing, and it'll come past you, and you won't even recognize it. And then when they walk away, you'll be like, what was I tripping on? That was a whole booger bear. I was tripping. Is his teeth really crossing their legs? What did he eat? A glow stick before he walked up? You know what I'm saying? So it's just the way our memories play tricks on us. And that's why you can't get stuck in your past. You can't. There's a season and a period for everything. You just can't get stuck there because it negates what you're walking into. What you're walking into, it's not fair, it's not right, it's undeserving for them to have to compete with what you're coming out of. It's just not.
Miss Regina, what is your favorite book?
Oh my God. I know you want me to say the Bible, right? It's in the top 5. It is. It's in the top 3. My favorite book.
That's a given. That's an automatic.
Okay, good. Glad you said that. I didn't want to offend anybody's religion.
Nope.
My favorite book, yeah, I got a little gangster edge to me, so forgive me. My
You
favorite
fine.
book is The Art of War. The Art of War.
I have read that book over and over again. What is your favorite? Why is that your
Oh,
favorite?
thank you so much for asking me because it's my mantra. Never engage in battle where victory is not sure.
Wow. Yeah.
Love it. My second favorite book is Ralph Ellison's Invisible Man. Yeah.
That's perfect. Perfect. Never engage in battle where victory is
Oh,
not assured.
yep.
So you carry that in all facets of your life,
Did you not hear me
everywhere.
tell you earlier that I'm winning? Period. I'm super
You did.
competitive. I just, but I understand. So here are things, and my tribe will tell you this. Here are things you won't hear me talk about. I ain't gonna tell you how to be a millionaire because I'm not one yet. I don't know how to do that. Right? I can't tell you. I can talk to you about relationships, but I can't tell you how to come out of a same-sex relationship because I've never been in one.
Mm.
So there are some things but I can point you in a direction.
Right.
I can get you a resource, excuse me. And so
Right.
I stay in my lane. My tribe knows I did a series a while ago called Staying in Your Lane, and the perils of what happens when you don't stay in your lane. And when you don't stay in your lane, it's not just a detriment to you. You finna tear up everybody in the car with you because you tripping, trying to do something you ain't got no business doing. And so um, I think that's huge for me. Um,
Wow. 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 How do you give back to your community?
oh my gosh. Um, I do fundraisers. I tutor free. Um, I
Tutor
go into
what?
this.
Math, science? Well,
Yes, all of the
biology.
above. All of the above. I taught physics in college. And so I tutor. I help the elderly. It's nothing. We're real big on that. I don't. I try to be like my grandmother, and it's hard in this day and age, but I try to never meet a stranger. Um, and be kind. My grandmother's favorite scripture. She drives us crazy with her 90-some-year-old self. Mama, quit opening the door to everybody. Well, you never know when you entertain the angel unawares. I said, listen, God gave you some discernment to keep that door closed. So
It's true.
I I
Thank you, Auntie.
I try very hard to just be present. I'm very big, and I think I'm a little older than you, but I think I grew up recognizing when they see me, I want them to see all the potential of a Black woman, period.
And you look incredible.
I ain't a baby's mama. I ain't on drugs. I ain't on no pole. Now, don't get me wrong. If that's what you do and you work in that pole, it's an ends to justify means. I'm not judging you. I'm just saying these are the things that they stack against us. Even though Heidi Fleiss could become a millionaire by doing the same thing some of us doing, we're frowned on upon it because of being a Black woman. But I want a little girl to walk past me and look at me and say, or hear me talk, or see me engage with Poole, and just be some type of hope. We still go into schools and read, and my 12-year-old gets mad at me. I'm like, oh, I'll be the classroom parent. She'd be like, Mom, you're the classroom parent every year. Oh, there it is. And yeah, I'm gonna drag your dad with me too. We're all gonna go and make gift baskets. We fed
Right.
last year. I fed several families for Christmas. I did a fundraiser.
Wow.
I have
Wow.
a
Wow.
friend who
Wow.
owns a cigar bar, and he allowed me to bring in food, and we charged a cover, and the money and everything that went from that went to one of the schools in crisis, and we took care of about 3 families with
Wow.
several children. Um, So it's just a good deal. We read, I go to the nursing home, read to the elderly. Can't do that now, of course.
Right.
I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do this year with COVID and Ohio being so tight right now. But I think that's huge because I am a huge believer in it takes a village. I believe that. I believe that. It takes a village. I grew up, if I was doing something crazy, Miss Juanita on the corner would have called my mama before I got around the corner and home to tell her, Regina then beat up some little boy up here on Beavis. And then I get home, my mama say, what happened?
She already knew before you even hit the door.
Before I even hit the day. I learned very early with my mom. If she asked me a question, she already know the answer.
So there's no point in lying.
Ain't no point in lying. I be trying to tell my children this, but they think they super smart because they got the internet. But yeah, no.
That's true. How can my audience reach you?
I am found on all social media platforms. Real simple. Regina Poole. There it is. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn. Regina Poole. In the new year, my website will be back up. We've had to revamp some things and reduce some things. I'm going in a different direction. I'll have some new programs coming out, some books and things like that. So that'll be coming up after the new year.
Thank you so much, Miss Regina. We are out of time, but I want to thank you. I want to thank you so much for taking the time out of your schedule, out of your busy day, to give back and to serve and to come on the show and just serve my audience, serve me. If nothing else, you've made a difference in my life, and I appreciate you so much. And I pray that you never be discouraged and you continue to do what you do because the world needs you. We need you. We need you to give back. We need you in the community. And so you are important. You are necessary. And so hear it from me. I know my audience feels the same way, but please don't ever stop. Don't ever quit.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. You know, I've followed you for several years now. We've had some great exchanges, and I was just stoked when I got the opportunity. I was like, yes, let me see if I can get on this show. So thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it so much. I am humbled and honored, and I'm glad my voice resonates with you.
It does. It does. So thank you all for tuning in tonight, Gentleman Style Podcast, the show. And we, again, please subscribe. Please contact Miss Regina. Please get with her, connect with her, and uplift her, even if it's an encouraging word, even if it's some inspiration, motivation, because she is changing the world. And so thank you all for subscribing tonight. Thank you all for tuning in. We appreciate you. And so tonight, like I always say, thank you for tuning in. And please always take care of your friends, take care of your families, and always take care of business. This is Marcus Norman and Miss Regina Incredible Poole signing off. We love you. Bye.